Hi friends, welcome in. Tammy here with Bentley Lane Creations coming to you with today's sweet little DIY craft. This is the Easter Bunnies banner. This goes on the banner sign, the welcome hello banner sign that is interchangeable. Absolutely love this. Now you could purchase this and use this on anything actually. You don't even have to have the welcome hello banner sign. You can use this garland banner piece for anything. You can hang it on anything that you want to hang it on without the sign. But anyway, I digress. So I painted up the bunny heads with my Waverly Antiquing Wax with using a baby wipe. We use a baby wipe, the Waverly Antiquing Wax, just apply that, let that set and dry. I am doing her little dress and his shirt in the color, forgive me for having to, it is yellow green. That is a Crafters Collection brand color. It is called yellow green. It's really bright, like almost chartreuse. Now I did the flower itself in the color Princess Pink, pastel pink. I did the button and the bow tie in white. I did her bow for her hair in the purple petal. That is a deco art color. I am doing these polka dots in the white. I am doing vintage white, I should say. It's like a cream color. I'm using Distress Oxide now here in color Ground Espresso. This is just an ink, and I'm going around the bunnies to give them a little bit of dimension. I absolutely love that. It looks so stinking good. Now I'm using that around his little bow tie and some other areas as well. You'll see. Now I did the, I used spring green on the greenery around the flower, and then some white to kind of soften it a little bit. Now I'm using a thin brush and some white and just kind of doing the little noses. I think I use the vintage white for this, to be fair. Not regular white, but vintage white, which is just a cream color. And then I'm going to use my little dotting tool and add a little black eye on each one of them. And then these, the flower itself is also going to get the little embellishments here with that white, and so stinking cute. Now this is so simple to paint, and this is such a fun addition. I'm absolutely loving this one. I especially love the backer that these go on with the little scallops and the stripes. I love it. Now I did the this little scalloped pieces here. I'm doing those in the vintage white. And again, that's just a cream color. The vintage white that I'm using is a Folk Art brand, and that's the name of it, Vintage White by Folk Art. So you'll see if you look that up, it's just a cream. You could use any color cream that you prefer. Now I'm doing these scallops in that color because I'm doing the backers in the stripes are going to be vintage white and pastel rose, which is the light pink color. This is, no, I lied. I'm doing it in Princess Pink, which is a little bit darker than the pastel that I used on the flower, but not much. So the easiest way to do this, and I say this all the time, if you're doing multiple colors on one piece, always paint the entire thing in the lightest color. So that's what I'm doing here. I'm painting the entire piece in the vintage white, which is the cream. Then I'm taking my little handy dandy Dollar Tree tool. I'm cleaning out those engraves because I do like that shiplap look. And then I'm coming in here with a brush and painting every other stripe in that color. That Princess Pink is what I'm using. And it is Crafters Collection color pink. Like I said, a little bit darker than that, than the flower, than the pastel pink that I used in the flower. And so when you do this, you only have to end up using one coat of the darker color because you've already used a base coat here. So this just makes it go much quicker. That way you're not having to use a brush to paint both colors of stripes, and then you can just come in with the darker color and then clean up the stripes on both sides. And this is just a simpler way, a quicker way to paint that. Now, as you see me painting this stripe here on the bottom of each piece, you don't have to really worry too much about getting it on that scalloped edge because you're going to glue on the scalloped edge, the 3D piece that we painted earlier. So it's okay if those go over the lines, no big deal. So now I'm just gonna start to dry fit everything. I'm just going to make sure I know where everything goes and then start to glue it up. Now the scallops are no question. You know exactly where those go, so get those glued up first, because the shirt for the bunny and the dress for the girl bunny, you can see there are scored lines where those are supposed to go, but they also fit directly down on top of those scallops. So you want to make sure that you glue the scallops first, because this is going to just fit right down in on that scallop when you glue it down. Now you're just going to glue the head on there. These are so simple to do, guys. You do not have to be a professional painter. You don't, I mean, these are really like paint by numbers. I say that all the time with my kits. That's what makes them so fun. They're unique to you if you do the DIY. You can make them your own colors, your own style. There's so many different ways you could go with these. Sometimes I use scrapbook paper on mine as well, which is super adorable and fun. So, you know, the possibilities are endless with these. Now make sure you have your flower lined up. It does go a certain way on there, and you'll know the edges will fit perfectly before you glue that down. And then I glue the flower to its base first, glue the button, and then glue the whole thing to the banner piece itself. Now I just use this thin twine to string mine. You can also add ribbon. You could string it with ribbon if you wanted to. You could use whatever you prefer. This is how I did mine. I just left it like this. I did not add any ribbons to it. Now if I hang it on its own, I may later add ribbons, but here it is.